Hi team, Coach Bob. This video is for our staff. I'm making it just for our team. You know, I made a mistake recently and I want to share the mistake that I made, tell you this story so that, I can hopefully get better at, in the future, as well as maybe by sharing this story with you to help make you aware of a potential situation or problem that maybe you can avoid and be better than Coach Bob. So basically, the mistake I made was I had what should have been a private conversation with one of our staff members out in the middle of the gym in the public square. When I did that, other members could hear the conversation that I had, even though I didn't have any bad intention and it was, just some private conversation that I was having with someone. I wasn't doing it in a way that made it private in any way. And because of that, members had overheard the conversation and then they began to think differently about the individual than what they needed to or really had any they didn't understand the context of the conversation I was having with a staff member, and they basically were brought into it, and it caused emotion and hurt essentially within the community, all of which could have been avoided had I had that conversation off stage instead of on stage. So I made a mistake. Fortunately, the staff member took me aside the next day and said, "Hey, do we have a few minutes? I would just like to have a conversation with you." So we walked outside the building, and you know, he shared with me basically what happened. Hey, you had this conversation. This was what happened. Then after you left, the members would then question me about this and question me about that, and this is the impact or the result of having that offstage conversation in the public square where everybody could hear it. So I'm very thankful that I received that feedback, because then I can actually um, get better and hopefully improve so that in the future I don't make that same mistake. Plus, because because we had that conversation off stage and I received that feedback from our staff member off stage, it made it so much easier, less drama, less emotion. I was able to kind of think about it, understand what I had done wrong, why it wasn't right, and what I need to do better without having the additional drama of having members in the gym as part of that conversation when they didn't need to be. So my my story for you is to help us to recognize that when we're in the gym, it's open. It's basically the open public square. Every square inch of that gym is pretty much somebody's going to be around more than likely. We need to create the space and the time away from everybody else and be very careful about what kinds of conversations we have. On a second note, when we have conversations, we need to be making sure that the person that we're talking about is present. It it isn't going to be very effective to have a conversation about this person or that person if that person's not there and they can't actually benefit from that conversation. Instead of actually having a good positive outcome, it actually ends up eroding the trust that we have within the team, that we really need to be building instead of taking away from. So when we have something that we want to share with someone, we need to make sure that they're part of that conversation and that they're present. If somebody, whether we're talking about a staff member or a member of the gym or somebody else out there, we need to make sure that that person is part of that conversation. Um, Really, the main point here is that sometimes we think that maybe that's hurting that person that we're not talking about, or that's not present. Okay, so maybe that's a good reason, because we want to make sure that they're present and can actually benefit from the conversation. Yes, But also, because we're talking about someone behind their back, the person that we're talking with, they're probably wondering, well, do you talk about me behind my back? Or what do you say? And so on. Plus, if this also is done inside of the gym where other people can hear that, hey, so and so is talking about so and so is not present, then that is happening in the public square and it creates an environment that's not positive. So we need to be leaders within the community. Yes, human nature, we like to be a community and talk about all the different things, but we need to be very careful and be leaders within our community to be upfront with individuals, off stage when we need to, and then build up one another to have those direct and honest conversations in a way that promotes trust and growth within the community. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to my story this morning. I am going to work to get better. Thank you so much. Take care and have a good day.